Thousands of low-level federal prisoners released temporarily due to the pandemic could soon go back behind bars. Investigator Matt Grant spoke with one man serving a federal sentence here in Texas. He's out and reintegrating back into society, but he's not sure how long that will last.
I always start out with, you're not supposed to be seeing me. I'm not supposed to be here.
If it wasn't for the pandemic, Kendrick Fulton would still be in prison.
Man, listen, compared to what I've been through, this is a walk in the park.
Instead, he has a full-time job.
People ask me how I'm doing. I say I'm doing better than I deserve.
Better, because he's still serving 33 years in Texas for a nonviolent offense selling cocaine.
At the time, in my 20s, just young, making bad choices.
The Federal Bureau of Prisons declined our request to talk with Fulton, but he wanted to share his story anyway. We met him at his job in Austin and Round Rock, where he's living.
How does it feel to be out, to not be in prison?
Oh, it feels great. You know, you're not looking at a chain link fence. You're not looking at walls, so it's surreal.
The Justice Department filed a memo requiring prisoners return once the pandemic ends. In Texas, 467 federal prisoners are on home confinement to help slow the spread of COVID-19. Nationwide, 223 are back behind bars due to unspecified violations or new crimes, and more than 7,500 are currently on release. Violent criminals, sex offenders, terrorists, and those who pose a risk to the public are ineligible. Prison officials say they have discretion to keep inmates on home confinement after the pandemic if they're close to the end of their sentences. But Fulton still has a decade to go.
Happy birthday!
For a year, he's reconnected with family
Appreciate it.
and reintegrated into society.
What do we as society get by sending him back to prison? It's only going to cost us money.
He may be out in public, but he's constantly reminded he's not free.
I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic on a lot of avenues, but I would hope that the president would just see our stories, hear our stories, and just grant clemency. That way we can really get on with our lives.
Fulton finds strength through faith, even as he worries time on the outside is running out. Matt Grant, State of Texas.
We reached out to the White House for comment but did not hear back. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice says it does not release people incarcerated by the state for COVID-19 reasons. TDCJ officials told us most parolees have to complete a treatment program and victims should have a voice in the process. Thank you again for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Josh Hinkle. We'll be back next week to bring you an in-depth look at Texas politics.